Hey, this is Monique. This time on One Mo Project, I had some help from my grandson. Now, he's about as good of a helper as the cats, but he's sure is fun. And this time, he wanted to paint. I'm sure he wanted to paint. I asked him, do you want to paint? And he said, so there you have it. Here's what we did. So I started with a canvas and someone painted it blue. That would be me because, you know. And then I used the Cricut to make his name and the year out of stencil vinyl so that there would be that negative space once we were done. So here's the Cricut where it was all attached. And I put that on there, but you just can't see that in the blue on the blue. And then with just a diaper in the bathtub, we decided to start with the feet. So here he is painting with his feet. I don't know if he loves it, but he did find it kind of interesting. I don't think he had a clue what we were doing there, but he did want to paint. Remember, he wanted to paint. So I said, sure, we'll paint. So then I helped him get some more paint on his feet because, well, let's face it, he's a baby. And I don't think he loved it. So then I tried a different tactic. Instead of him putting his feet to the canvas, we brought the canvas to his feet and smeared around some more of the paint. But then he wanted to use his hands, I think. I was afraid he was going to try to eat the paint. And, you know, on his hands was one thing, but eating it, that just seemed like a bad idea. But then we got some on his hands, and he seemed to like that for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. And I put a little more paint on his hands. But then, maybe if I had let him just smear it around, he might have stayed interested, but he kind of lost interest. So I helped him paint so that we could get paint to go all the way all around all of the edges for where his name and the date were going to be. So that you could read his whole name easily in the blue that was the background. But see, he's sort of lost interest already. So maybe we'll paint again another day and he'll, know how to paint instead of just help me do it. But once we got everything, all the edges covered pretty good, then this is what we had. A bathtub with a baby with paint. So anyway, he got a bath as soon as we were done. Had to rinse it out. This is the part that I took off to make it show, and I decided to put that on some black paper and keep that around because the other part is for a present for his parents. And here's how that looked once I took those off. But now he needs to sign his work. Yeah, I know. He can't really sign it since, he doesn't even know how to hold a pencil, much less paint his name on there. So I had to have a little bit of help. I had my assistant come in because here we are with clothes on. We're not in the bathtub trying to paint this time. So instead of dipping his hand in the paint and losing all of the lines of his hand and it just being a lot that would squish out, I put the paint onto his hand. Look at that cute little hand. I love it. Anyway, so I painted his hand with this color that was going to show up. But I didn't want it to be I didn't want to paint it red or something because first it looked like blood. But then I wanted it to show up just a little bit. And so then with the helper, we're able to put his handprint on there. Thanks for watching. I don't know if you're going to run right out and find a grandkid and make one of those, but I sure had fun doing one with mine. Anyway, remember the Bible tells us, dear children, do not love in word or speech, but in action and truth. See you next time. You like it better with your hand? You never really like it with your feet. All right, put some more paint on your hand.